What's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Safe Continue Newscast. My name is Ryan. That's Tom.
Hey.
That's Shanae.
Hi there.
Every week we get together with stories that we found and thought were interesting and wanted to share with you guys. Who's got news first?
All I really have is the Fallout 76. I guess West Virginia's mayor, governor.
Go on.
I don't know. They're welcoming the potential onslaught of Fallout 76 fans.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Come visit Virginia.
Come visit Virginia. So that's lame.
Yeah.
Other than that, PlayStation name changes have been confirmed. Starting as a beta, it will roll out potentially worldwide early next year. Some caveats, though.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, they're saying that it won't work with every game, but they haven't clarified exactly what that means. Does it mean that you won't retain trophies from previous games, which was rumored? Or does it mean that just leaderboards won't show your new name? Like, we don't really know yet.
From what I was reading, it said it might break games before April 2018. It came out before that.
So that I had not heard. Sony said that?
I guess I just feel like if I were not to be able to bring my trophies with me, I could have just made a whole new account from the jump.
Well, they said that the first change is free, and the second's like $10, and then it's like $5 for everyone after that.
Huh.
And they say that and then the PlayStation blog, I was reading it, and they're saying that if you run into to any problems during like the beta, they'll revert it back for free, and that whenever they release it after the preview, that they should have a list of games it's incompatible with afterwards.
And I'm not so much concerned about what games it's incompatible with. I want to know the extent of that incompatibility.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying if it takes your trophies away, what's the point? I don't think I think if anything, this will affect PS3 trophies.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of those. I have a few Wipeout trophies.
That and one thing Sinead didn't mention is that you can choose to show both your previous name and current name at the same time, so that your friends know who you are. Interesting. I think it's a good thing. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and at $5 a pop instead of $10, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the first change is free, then 10, then 5.
Yeah, but Xbox charges you $10 every time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I was glad for how easy it was for me to get away from my old Xbox gamer tag, which was grind me behind me for a few years.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to not be stuck with that forever.
I mean, it was a big oversight, right? Like when the PlayStation 3 first came about and PSN first came about. If you remember, PSN, first off, the PlayStation 3 runs off the cell processor. That caused a bunch of problems with different games.
Right.
This problem has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
This has a problem. This has to do with how names are actually represented in the system.
Right.
PSN used to open through a browser.
Yeah.
Like this is, it was definitely a big issue that how could they have foreseen? Gaming in an online space and online marketplaces in gaming were not what they are now when this first came about.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a big step in the right direction, and I'm glad that it's happening. I personally, I guess I'm fine with my PSN name, but there are a lot of people out there who have been wanting to change their PSN name for a long time. So I'm really happy that, they'll be able to do that. What do you have, Shanae?
Rockstar granted a terminally ill patient the access to play Red Dead Redemption 2 early.
It's good.
I've been seeing a lot more companies do that, and it's always just a really nice story.
Yeah.
It always just makes me feel better about them. I know it's PR, but it's also just like a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft finalizing the deal with Obsidian Entertainment.
That actually finished and went through?
They're finalizing it this week.
Yeah, so first it was rumors, then it's like all but true.
Yeah.
I think it's smart.
Yeah, it's a good get.
I think the biggest problem is at the rate Microsoft is acquiring new studios, much like Sony did 10 years ago. They're not all going to stick around.
Right.
And, that's not going to be anything nice to see. But
Well, I guess we'll see. I guess there's something that I'm looking for, like seeing how it works out in the short term. What do you got?
Oh, just fixing your sleeve.
Oh, thanks.
I don't think it'll necessarily be the short term, though, right? We saw the acquisition of whatever it was, like 5 studios during E3, and then now Obsidian. I think that brings them up to a total of about 15, 16 studios. That's a lot of studios for one hardware manufacturer to have, and one would assume that they have not already begun developing games for Microsoft or just now started.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long-term thing before we really see anything.
I hope we see a lot of things. I guess, like, especially with Microsoft and their whole problem with the disparity in this with the sizes between PlayStation and Xbox. I mean, the more the merrier, because they could definitely use some games on that thing. I guess we'll see what happens with it. Now that I think about it, I'm thinking about the last Obsidian game that I played, and that was Fallout New Vegas. I can't remember another game that I played more recently than that.
Did you play South Park?
No, I didn't.
No. Also interesting, like what I want to know, no developer, no studio has said this except for Ninja Theory, that Microsoft is letting them do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
For all we know, Microsoft can tell Obsidian, hey, you're going to make Fable.
Yeah.
I think that studio is capable of much more than Fable.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm just using Fable as an example.
Yeah, sure.
Could be anything. Could be
Right.
you're gonna
But
make.
we want you to make this. We want you to make this first party exclusive game for
Right.
us, as opposed to like an original thing.
Yeah,
We
the
probably wouldn't.
only developer that has been acquired that says Microsoft is giving them the privilege to do whatever they want is Ninja Theory.
Yeah. Tom, in the lines of, I'm sorry, Chin, did you have anything more?
No, that was literally it.
I wanted to use your what you said about Fallout to kind of piggyback off of you, but so Fallout 76 is not going to launch on Steam, and at first I was like, okay, well, where are they putting it, right? And then they're releasing it for now, at least, exclusively through their own service. I think it's called Bethesda Net or something.
Yeah.
And Pete Hines has said that it's because he wants to have a closer relationship to like the player base, with it being in like an online service kind of thing. And also I think it makes good business sense considering the fact that they don't got to pay Valve. They don't got to give Valve a cut of their sales. That being said, though, I think I also remember that Fallout Shelter didn't launch on PC through Steam, and then later came to Steam.
Sure.
So
this game's gonna have to come to Steam.
Yeah.
I
think that at some point it will.
Like, to say it makes more business sense for them to not do so, I think is just incorrect. Honestly, if they sell it on Bethesda Net, they will see a fraction of the pie that they would see selling it on Steam.
That's a fair point.
But
Per copy, would they make more? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be way fewer copies.
Yeah.
I mean,
because there are going to be a lot of people who are like, hey, I want this, like how annoyed we get when like, hey, I want this game. Oh, I gotta go through Uplay to get that.
Well, if you look at the sales of Microsoft's games on the Windows Store versus Microsoft games when they get ported over to Steam, ported when they get put up for sale on Steam. If you look at things like Recore or fucking, what is that fucking franchise? Halo. Halo, the strategy one. Halo Wars. If you look at the sales of those on the Microsoft Store versus Steam, when they come to Steam way, way, way later, They still sell way better on Steam.
And I think it's a lot of people just like, I don't want to have a million different launchers, and I want to have a
Yeah.
like, especially like with you got me what do you call it, Blood Dragon,
Yeah.
and like I'm glad for that, but at the same time I would hate the idea of buying a game and having a launcher for that one game.
Well, and I would not have purchased it had I known that
Yeah.
Humble would have forced me to use a Uplay key
Yeah.
when that game is available on
Yeah,
Steam.
there's a Steam version of the game,
Yeah.
so I don't know why they did that. But like also, but to to your point, like the idea of getting this Bethesda Net launcher for this one game.
Yeah.
When I have all these other Bethesda games in my
When every
Steam.
other Bethesda game is available on Steam,
Yeah.
you're gonna get Bethesda Net for this one game.
And I guess I don't know how difficult it is to communicate with your player base if you're going through Steam. Like, I don't develop games for a living,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's worth the trade off. But
Also, this isn't really news because he already said this, but Pete Hines has been getting a lot of flack on Twitter this week about the lack of crossplay in this game. And it is something that they're looking into maybe doing in the future.
yeah,
His words. But yeah, like he told you early on, it wasn't going to be crossplay.
yeah.
So
And he also and I remember specifically him using that opportunity to put Sony on blast.
well, that was for Elder Scrolls Legends.
That's right.
Yeah.
That game doesn't look fun. Anyway, you guys remember how John Carmack was in a lawsuit with ZeniMax over Oculus shit?
Yes.
Okay, well, that lawsuit's finally been resolved. They settled, but I didn't see like how much they settled for. I know that initially, John Carmack was saying that after it was acquired, he was owed about $22 million.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that money he ended up getting, or if any at all.
Yeah.
But apparently that lawsuit's been
I mean, if they
resolved.
settled, he got something.
Yeah, probably.
But
I don't know how close it was to that 22 million he was after.
yeah.
I do know that there is still some arbitration going on with the Oculus stuff. I don't know the status of that, but I just remember hearing about this that lawsuit like I don't know how long ago, and then randomly I hear about that lawsuit again. Like, oh, I guess it's
Like
it's
over
fine.
a year ago.
I guess it's fine. So, I mean, good for John Carmack, but didn't he also make some kind of like claim that about deathmatch or that he invented something or
Yeah, he did, and that was found to be untrue very rapidly.
He's an eccentric man, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that worked out for him and in whatever way it worked out.
Maybe you guys can help me out with this. I heard this week that Randy Pitchford got taken for quite a bit of money.
Yeah, and like I don't,
millions of dollars.
I don't mean to laugh, but like, yes, Gearbox CEO and also magician Randy Pitchford got taken for a ride for a few $1 million by his personal assistant, no less.
There you go.
By over the course of like a few years.
Yeah.
Like Office Space style.
Yeah.
And
that guy just got away, right? Like he's just gone, isn't he?
Yeah, they're just like nothing ever. Like he just got away. That's crazy. Because like, and you think about like.
I didn't hear about this at all.
You think about like how could that happen? But
how did the assistant do it?
Because like a lot of people.
How are they going to make more Borderlands?
Well, okay, so like when you have I guess when you have like a lot of money, like you could afford to hire personal assistants to like manage your life, and a lot of people who hire personal assistants also are like, hey, could you just go ahead and like take care of paying these bills for me? So they give these people like access to their bank account and shit, and so over time.
Wouldn't you just have an accountant or like?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the details of it.
Like it feels like you would have somebody to take care of that for you, and also like.
But at the same time, like.
You took care of it for him.
Yeah, he took care of it. At the same time though, but like understand that it wasn't like thousands of dollars at a time, but it was like small amounts over the course of like a few years. Something like amounts that Randy Pitchford probably didn't notice.
How could you not notice? Leading up to millions of dollars?
I don't. Maybe.
You know?
I guess like, I don't know. Magic is like it takes up a lot of your time, you know, and I don't know how and this is like something that like no matter I feel like I can't say this for sure, but I feel like no matter how much money I get, I think I will always take care of just paying my own bills instead of like letting somebody else like handle my get my bank information. But he says he's fine.
Y'all gonna play the lottery this week?
No, I haven't played the lottery since ever.
Jackpot's up to the second highest in history.
I played like 4 or 5 years ago.
I'm gonna play it.
Maybe get some of that Randy Pitchford money.
That's more than Randy Pitchford money.
Yeah, how much is it?
It's like 600 and something million.
Jesus, you never have to work again.
Nope.
I should play the lottery this week. That's the newscast for this week, guys. As always, my name is Ryan Robinson. That's Tom Shelby.
Goodbye.
That's Sinead Howard.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.